Johnny Rock Show, Rockin' 101, the Rock Station.
Straight up 9 o'clock. Oh, here he comes. This guy can, I was saying you can wear a cape better than the Cape Crusader. Rick Wakeman, welcome to the
Yeah, I tell you, that my dad always used to say, when I used to walk out with the capes, they go, well, any friend of Batman's a friend of ours.
Well, welcome to the Johnny Rock Show. Rick Wakeman.
Thank you.
I don't believe we've ever had the pleasure. Where are you calling from, can I ask?
I'm on the east coast of England, towards the south, in a county called Suffolk. And if you look at the British Isles and you look down the right-hand side, the east bit, there's what looks like a bum sticking out. And I'm at the bottom end of the bum, which is... I suppose it suits me perfectly, really.
Hey, why not? Well, I love technology because your phone line sounds better than some people that call from, 2 miles away. So welcome to it, Rick.
I know, but equally, I can call somebody a few miles away and it's a terrible line.
Well, there you
I've never quite understood how it all works.
Well, let's just be happy and let's not jinx it or count our chickens before they hatch. Well, the new concept album, A Gallery of the Imagination. You just got done with a tour, and I love the name of the tour, Even Grumpier Old Rock Star Tour last year, and now a concept album. Yep. You just don't slow down. What's going on?
Well, I'm going to try and fit everything in before I depart this mortal coil, really. I know, I just love what I do. I do generally feel it's a privilege that I'm able to do what I do, and and when ideas come up, I just like to try and bring them to fruition. I mean, as you get older, it becomes more important. Health issues start to catch up with you. I mean, I've got very bad arthritis in my hands, so I know for a fact that there's going to come a time when I just won't be able to do what I do now. I mean, I can play through the pain barrier, but there'll come a time when you can't do it anymore. So you go, okay. When that time comes, I'll rethink my life musically, what I do. But for the moment, while I can still do it, I'm going to cram in as much as I can.
Well, God bless. Now, for the younger set that may not know your incredible string of records over the years, besides Yes, you also played with T-Rex, Cat Stevens, David Bowie. You did the keyboards in Space Oddity?
I did the Mellotron on Space Oddity, and I did the piano on Life on Mars and the rest of the Hunky Dory album.
Wow.
Yeah, I did quite a lot with David.
Man. And Elton John. I was not aware of the Elton John aspect. What'd you do with Elton?
Well, Elton John, good friend, lovely guy, and very underrated as a pianist. He is an excellent pianist. I think it was overshadowed by his fantastic songwriting, because the songs were so great. It overshadowed his great playing. But he hated playing the organ. He just didn't want to play the organ. And he called me up and said, "This is for Madman Across the Water." And he said, "Do you fancy doing that? There's a couple of tracks that really need organ, and I just don't want to do them. Do you fancy doing them?" And I went, "Yeah, absolutely." So went in the studio, and it was the great days when everybody was in the studio, and most of it was all recorded at one go. And so the organ was by the side of the piano. There was a small orchestra, and we did the tracks. It was great fun. And in fact, I did a show with him because he went out and did Madman Across the Water on at a couple of big venues in London, and he had the orchestra, and I played the organ, and that was just great fun.
Man, now I've seen Yes in concert a few times with you, and
right.
The size of your setup, the keyboards. What would be at the height of Yes's concert popularity? How big was your keyboard setup?
It was big. I think the biggest rig was on the of actual keyboards was on the Union tour, where it was on 3 levels, and I just have to jump from level to level. I couldn't do it now at my age, but it was, and that was a period of time when keyboards were still a little bit of their infancy. And basically, there wasn't all the great computer programming and things that could be done. The keyboards didn't have, thousands and thousands of sounds. Basically, each keyboard had like 2 or 3 good sounds, and that was it. And they didn't have presets. So the only way I could get all the sounds that I wanted to get was to have all the keyboards and things on stage. I still have quite a big setup. It's about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, about 14 keyboards and a few rack mounts and a few other things, which I don't know. My son says it's because I like to think that I'm in a castle. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think that there was, and you can disagree, but I think there was a period of time when the bands of the era it was almost like an arms race. It was Yes, ELP. I mean, and you had 14 keyboards. ELP would go out with 9 drum sets and 22 keyboards. Did it get out of hand?
Yep. No, it was part of the evolution of that era of rock and roll. I mean, some of it, it did get a bit silly. But we didn't think of it as silly at the time. I mean, Keith was a great friend, and I remember him saying to me that he was sitting around one day thinking, what can we do? What can I do? He said, and I wasn't thinking, what can I do musically? I was thinking, what can I do with the piano? I know, I'll have a revolving piano in the air. And it was things like that. We all did it. I used to carry explosions and all sorts of things you couldn't do now. The music obviously came first, but then it was, what can I do with it? And yeah, you're right. You look at what some of the bands did. Pink Floyd built a wall. Why not? For the wall, they actually went on stage and built one. And you had bands like I think it was ELO who had a spaceship.
Yes.
It was. Why not? It was brilliant. I think the great thing about that era, some of the bands, was we realised that, because we liked going to concerts as well, it wasn't just about looking at the band and listening to the music. It needed visuals sometimes, especially the sort of music that the bands that we just mentioned were doing. And so that's what we did. Cost a fortune. I remember doing King Arthur on Ice, and I built a castle on the ice rink. I think that was at Wembley Empire Pool, and I was told at one stage that the actual castle that I built cost more than the original ice skating rink to build.
Unbelievable. Well, thank you for the music and all the entertainment. We're talking to Rick Wakeman of the band Yes, his new solo record, A Gallery of the Imagination. Listen, it's been a pleasure. You can tickle the ivories like nobody else, as they say.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, sir.
Calling from jolly old England. Well, come on back anytime to the Johnny Rock Show, okay? And we're going to check out that.
I'd love to. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, Rick Wakeman from England. Jolly. Hello. Wow. There he goes. Rick Wakeman, the new album, A Gallery of the Imagination. He said he played with Elton John on Madman Across the Water, a classic. I didn't have the heart to do the joke while he was on the phone from London, but I'll do it now. He said Elton hated playing the organ. I'm like, that's funny. That's not what I heard. Thank you, Rick Wakeman. Yeah, see, kids, back in my day, this got played on Top 40. Stereo KDWB. Yeah, there he goes.
The Johnny Rock Show, Rockin' 101, The Rock.